Freebirds. Now, this is going to be something new for me. I am going to now start into the movie critic industry here. And what better way to start off with a Thanksgiving film, morally known as the 2013 animated film, Freebirds. At first, people didn't like it, but then it's starting to grow recognition now. And, well, we'll see for me. I've enjoyed Freebirds ever since I first watched it, so this will be mostly like a nostalgia trip, you know what I mean. It may or may not affect my review or something like that. I mean, look, you are what you are, that's what I'll say. But now that Reggie and Jake are going back in time, will they be able to stop Thanksgiving? Or do we have to take them off the menu? We're gonna find out with our first category here, the story. Now, there's only like one main plot that happens in the middle of the first act. Jake, can you please say it?
We're going back in time to the first Thanksgiving to get turkeys off the menu.
Thank you. Yeah, the point here is that one turkey who's all alone and wants to be recognized, he gets pardoned by the president. And then one day, this turkey, Jake, captures him and tells him that he's on a mission to go stop Thanksgiving to get turkeys off the menu, as what he said. But the thing is that it is a dumb plot that people think it will not work for a story. But for some reason, it works. The execution of it works for some reason. Like, I don't know how, but, like, you take a very dumb concept, and it works very well, because of one and main key aspect. The comedy. The comedy is what carries this film. And trust me, I laughed a lot from this film. From either a fourth wall break, from the freaking ending, which is pretty stupid, I'll say. And just many other stuff, either if it's slapstick, or if it's just dialogue.
Angry Birds.
But aside from that, the story doesn't seem like it's that much. But in execution, it can be a fun, enjoyable ride. But let's move on to the characters category. With these characters, they are pretty well written. Let's start with Reggie. He's a turkey who's alone and wants to just have someone as a friend, so he doesn't seem like an outcast from others. You've heard that story, but with Owen Wilson's performance, I mean, he did a pretty good job, and it makes him a likable character for me. Jake is probably one of my favorites. He's the dumb comic relief of the group, of the duo, I'll say, and he does have this one thing. The reason why he does this time-traveling Thanksgiving stuff is due to something that happened in his past. For he was raised in a factory, and for that backstory, we have to give him sympathy points since he actually wanted to save his clan, but failed. And then one day, the all-knowing Great Turkey arrives, just so he can give him a mission to stop Thanksgiving. Very, very well put in, and it connects in the story near the climax of the film. The rest of the characters don't really give much, but they can be very funny. For example, there's Ranger, who's the big brother of the group. Well, in the past Turkey, I'll say. He is the big brother excuse me. He is the son of the chief in the past. I hope you understand what I mean. But from that, he does have a bit of a rivalry with Jake, since he's being a leader. Jake says that he is also a leader. So it gives a bit of a rivalry between the two, which does have some of the best moments of the film. Now there's also, I don't remember the girl's name, but she's mostly the love interest to Reggie, and she's really a strong leader who follows her father's footsteps. Speaking of her father, he's a pretty strict but caring leader. He wants what's right for his family and for his tribe. a very, very, very kind-hearted leader, I'll say. The rest of the cast is mostly hilarious comic reliefs. Some of them work, like those yellow suit guys that have that one funny joke of cranberry sauce. That one got me laughing due to their laugh. The other one is this annoying girl. She can be annoying to people, but she has some funny moments since she is just a kid. There's also the other duo, the short ones, Bernie and someone else. I don't remember the small blue guy, but they're both pretty funny. Then there's also the villain I forgot to mention, Captain Standish. He is a very threatening villain to the turkeys, but to humans, not too much. Except here in the Pilgrim tribe. That is frightening. The characters are well written and do give something to the story. But the thing is, there's one thing I'll say. Most of them are just comic reliefs. If you heard me say comic reliefs a lot, and this is from my opinion, from most of the people that make me laugh are just people who give jokes. That's usually not a problem with me, but as a critic here, I have to give the critic side a little something to mention here. So, that's the only downside. But last but certainly not least, let's move on to the highlight, the animation. The thing that should appeal people. And it does give a bit of a good animation, I'll say. For 2013, it does what it needs. And it's from Real Effects, and they made the Book of Life a year later, so I think they should make something good. For the animals, we'll start with them. They have a bit of a cartoony design, where some of them can be skinny turkeys and some can be buff, jacked turkeys. It is pretty impressive. And their character animation can be pretty nice. And their detail with the feathers are pretty good as well. The backgrounds can be interesting as well, I'll say. One thing is that the turkeys do look similar to each other. Like Jake looks like Ranger, but instead Ranger has a blue head and stripes on him. That's about all. And with the humans, they do have a bit of a not really cartoony design, but still have a bit of a realistic look. It kind of does work, but I don't really know how to discuss about it, to be honest. But my personal favorite part of the film, and the highlights when it comes to the animation, the time-traveling moments, or the moments when Steve is on screen. Steve is a time-traveling egg. What I mean is that it's a time machine shaped like an egg. You get the concept here. You get the concept. His time-traveling moments can be very colorful. And my personal favorite part of the film, to be honest. I mean, it gives you a bunch of random colors, like when it goes, like, where you need to go, past, present, or future. It shows just a bunch of lines and just the pure nothingness of just wavy whites. And then when we go up to space, it's pretty interesting as well. Along with its villain's defeat, which is pretty funny. As you can see, the animation does give you something to enjoy, even if it is a bit okay for 2013. I've said to myself, what am I, a pirate? Let me rephrase that. I said to myself that Freebirds is a funny film. And I'm still right about that. Freebirds is an enjoyable film to watch with the family, with a bit of an interesting, well-executed story that should not work, except it was executed well, like I just said. Animation that is pretty good for 2013 times, and characters that can be well written and can give you a good laugh. It's around Thanksgiving time, so I think you should sit around the Thanksgiving table and watch it. If you want to have a laugh or turn off your brain, this is the film for you. It's an enjoyable film to enjoy, and I think you will like it. But before I go, I'm going to have to give a rating here. So, what I'm going to do here is not really tell you what the ratings are out of 10. What I'm going to do here is actually do a gold, silver, bronze, and trash metal. Gold is 9 and 10 out of 10. Silver is 7 to 8 out of 10. Bronze is 6 to 5 out of 10. And trash is 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 out of 10. But from what I have to say about it, it's a silver medal rating. A film that you can enjoy, but it's not perfect all the time. But you can have a fun laugh any day of the week.